If you or someone you know is planning to retire within 6 to 12 months, please call Joe D. Garcia. Federal, city, county, state employees, and small business owners, we have you covered. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call Joe D. Garcia from Blanket Retirement Services, 956-276-4943.
I'm Joe D. Garcia.
And I'm Rolando Trevino.
And we are Blanket Retirement Services. We have you covered.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
My son Leo just graduated from high school, but also with his associate degree from Texas Southmost College at no cost at all. Not having that financial burden was so helpful to our family. That's 2 years we did not have to pay for.
All of my TSC credits transferred to UTRGV, and I am so grateful to go into my major debt-free.
In Port Isabel, Texas. For human hair extensions, clip-ons, hair add-ons, bangs, and hair accessories, it's Island Wigs.
South Padre Island. Enjoy endless activities for all ages. Then dance the night away with live music, savor fresh seafood, and discover unique food trucks and shop our charming boutiques. What are you waiting for? Escape the everyday at South Padre Island.
Time to take a new look, maybe your first look at Buick. If smart, hip, and affordable is for you, Buick's your brand. Fruya Buick, Brownsville, Texas.
What's up, everybody? We are back for Season 3, Episode 1 of Coffee with Coach O, live in the Bloodhound Cafe. As always, Kevin Naro here to lead the way with the start of this show and every broadcast on the Bloodhound channel as we jump into the 2025-2026 school year. I'm joined by longtime head coach, Coach Dolores Olguin. We're live in the Bloodhound Cafe. As always, a special thank you to Miss Amanda for allowing us to come in and talk some volleyball on a Monday morning at 10 a.m. So you can get that back onto your calendar every Monday morning here at 10 a.m. Coach and I will be talking some volleyball. Coach, good to see you again. Season 3 already. It's getting up there.
It's getting up there. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it is also the first day of school. So I've already heard a couple of first day of school stories. I was driving into the school and I saw the kids walking around in the uniforms, and I'm like, it's good to see that again. Good luck to all the teachers and all the kids with their new school year. But Coach, you said you have a little first day of school memory yourself this morning already.
Yeah, so my daughter and I went and dropped off my grandson, and every time, I remember when I would drop her off, and without fail, it was like I was in tears. It's just, you spend all summer long with them, and then all of a sudden, they're with somebody else, so it's a little bit of it's a little emotional. And I think it's for every parent, I think I speak for every parent. That first day is kind of, like I saw one of the parents post something on Facebook, and the kids are like, "Don't take any more pictures, Mom." And
I think I know who you're talking about.
And it's like,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I saw it too. Yeah.
And it's like, it's the first day of school. I mean, it's the first day that they're going to be gone all day long.
Yeah.
Even when they're juniors and seniors, you still feel that.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I don't have any kids, but as the older brother, I got thrusted into the drop off and pick up with my younger sisters. So I remember dropping off my middle sister to her first day of junior high, and then eventually her first day of high school, and then my youngest sister, the same thing. I dropped her off at her first day of junior high, and since she's the baby, I remember I was emotional too.
Yeah.
And see, my two sisters and I went to, or my middle sister and I, we went to BL, and my youngest sister went to South. So she went to a completely different middle school, so she was still kind of learning what the school was like. So me, the big brother, I go and I park in the parking lot, and I walk her into the school, and I made sure that she knew she was where she needed to be and where she needed to go. And I'm like, okay, are you good? Can I go? She's like, yes, I'll be fine. So, and then I left. I was like, okay, good. She's good to go.
Yeah, a lot of times it's a lot harder on us than it is on them.
Yes.
They're kind of like went at that age already. They're like,
Yep.
just go.
Yeah,
But-
and then when she went to high school, we went to Edinburgh North. She ended up going to PSJ North.
Oh wow.
So I dropped her off there at PSJ North on her first day, but by then, I want to say it was already 2021 when she started. So it was just post-COVID, so everything was still kind of, people were still learning how to do the whole school thing.
Yeah.
But no, she was way more social, and she jumped right into it right away. So she was ready to get out of the car and start high school. So certainly some
And
good.
say, you don't have to walk me in, Kevin.
No. She said, you don't have to walk me in. I said, no, I don't. But I know Coach Esparza and Coach Kaufman. I already talked to them. They're going to keep an eye on you. And if you need anything, they're going to be in this room and they're going to be in that room. So you have somewhere to go. So, no, certainly. So that's how I was with my sisters. I can't imagine how I'll be when I actually have kids one day. But, no, certainly, again, first day of school back here at Brownsville St. Joe. We got coffee with Coach O this morning. We have a pep rally later this morning at 11:30. So a lot going on. Coach, we're going to jump right into it. We're excited for this new year for some Bloodhound volleyball. Obviously, we saw the banner year last year with this team where, the late season surge that this team went on, beating Victoria here at home, going on the road, winning the first playoff game, and then going toe-to-toe with Fort Bend. Having Carmina go on and sign D1. You had 500 career wins. Carmina, 1,000 career digs. So many great highlights last year, Coach. What excites you the most about going into this year?
Well, one of the things I would have to say is that I've got 13 girls coming back. And I think that the base of our success last year is still here. And so I think building on that is going to be super exciting. Like even just little things that I see, I'm like, okay, we're going to get where I think we should get. And just, the kids really bonded last year at the end of the season. And so the fact that they're all back with the exception of Noelia and Maria Noelia and Carmina. I think that's going to be a big plus for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of experience coming back. And, you look at this team and you see it's junior heavy, sophomore heavy. But at the same time, while it looks young on paper, really they're not. And you and I have had that conversation before with freshmen and sophomores that once you're 10, 15 games into a varsity season, in our eyes at least, they're no longer freshmen or sophomore. They're seasoned when it comes to the varsity level. So carrying over from last year to this year, there's certainly a lot of confidence. A lot of excitement for sure. I know, and you guys have only been at work for 1 week.
Yes.
A week.
It's crazy. We only get 1 week, and then we're already in games tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah. So it's really crazy. I think the kids. We kind of talked about it during that week of 2-a-days and stuff, and talked about how how they beat Victoria, and I really kind of like stressed to them that was a major turning point for us, because Victoria is a powerhouse. So is Laredo, so is Sac, so is we have a lot of them, but Victoria has been the district champion every year that we've been in district. Every single year from I think our first year in district was 2018, maybe something like that. So they've been a district champion every year. And I told them, yes, at the beginning they were state champs because they went to state and they won state and stuff. I said, even though they weren't state champs last year or the year before, I said, that's the district championship. That's a district champion that you faced off with at 12-0. No. How many teams were there?
In districts?
9? No, 12. There was 12.
12, okay.
So district matches, right? So you faced off at what were we?
It was the last game of the year.
8-3, I think.
8-3, yeah.
And they were 11-0. And I said, and you came in and you defeated them. And I said, and that was huge. That was huge because, Victoria St. Joseph, this undefeated forever, never, never.
The last time if you're wondering, the last time Victoria lost a match in district was to St. Joe.
Was to St. Joe at home, 2021.
So they've only lost twice.
They've only ever lost 2 district matches since we've been in district, which is 2018. So that win, we talked about that win, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that was so awesome," and that we did it. Somebody said, "And we did it twice," and I was like, "Yeah," So then then we turn around and here we are in a playoff match that the second round coach was there to scout the other team, not St. Joe, because they were favored to win apparently. And so, we were talking about that, and I told the girls, I said, he was scouting not us, but them. And so then when we ended up winning, we went 5 sets, right? Like, I don't know how many 5 sets we had last year.
A lot.
but the beauty of this team is that I even if we're 2 down, it's not that I'm not concerned. It's that I know that we can flip that.
Right.
And so, then we talked about that game and stuff, and I said, and you came back and beat them, and I said, that was huge, and that's your very first by-district championship, and since we've been in TAPS district. And they were like, yeah, and then they were like, and then we met the 6D1, and I said,
yeah.
But you know what? I said, after that initial first set, when everybody was shell-shocked, you were fine. You were fine. I mean, we played them that second set. We played them, and I distinctly remember I was talking to somebody else, and I said, I remember, I think it was the middle, Grady hit the ball, Carmina dug it, and it went so high it almost touched the ceiling in that gym.
Yeah.
And I said, that's how hard she hit that ball, and they were like, what? You're kidding me? But I think a lot of that is still kind of like here, and so they understand that it's not unattainable.
They can do it.
They can do
it
it
again.
They can do it. So it's just, I drill it into them and stuff. And it's like, you have to work at it. It's not going to happen just because you did it last year.
Right.
You have to put in the work.
Right.
So
and some teams, they'll have a big year, and a lot of kids will become complacent and say, well, we did it last year, but I think this team, usually that happens with younger teams. But with this team, I think they're so experienced and they're so hungry for more. I don't think that's the case with this team, because you have a heavy set of juniors who want to win games, and you have seniors that are back that are eager for more, and they want to do it again, and just to show that, hey, last year just wasn't kind of a flash in the pan sort of deal. Yeah, and it's funny because I just told that story last week on the Luke Faria show. That same Fort Bend story. When they asked me how the volleyball team was looking, I talked about that second set, and that second set was just really a microcosm of what that team really was as a whole. I say, okay, fine, we lost in straight sets, whatever, but that second set was really the example of what that team, the DNA of that team last year. Because I mean, we went up to Victoria the first time around, and that second set we came back and won, and they were on their heels. And I hadn't seen that team more fired up than that second set, so certainly a lot of resiliency from that team, and I know that was a word we used a lot last year. Turning the page to this year, we've seen some scrimmages already, Coach. What are some things that you were excited to see, or maybe some positives that you saw?
I mean, a lot of the positives is that the one of the major positives is that they've got good chemistry. They really do have good chemistry. I saw it in practices, last week and 2-a-days, and even just a little the times that we drilled and stuff, and then when I would put them on the court and have them play, and there was a lot of really good stuff going on. The passing, the setting, the hitting, the blocking. And I think you were in there one day, and I said, "Did you see that?"
Yeah.
And you said, "Yeah." So I think that because they were together last year, I think that kind of still is carrying over, and they feel more confident towards their teammates, with their teammates and stuff. Obviously there's a couple of new players, mainly one. I'll be moving a couple of the other girls up and down just to see where I can fit somebody in, or who works the best. And Maya Garcia, who's a freshman, came in, and she's doing a good job setting. Mariana's back in at setting, and then of course Sienna. But I think if we can just keep that mentality of, we're not just teammates, we're sisters, and we need to be bonded as solidly as we can, and understand my biggest issue or problem right now, and I mean, it's always, coaches always say that's a good problem to have, is I have so many, and I can interchange so many. And I've told them this is happening right now in the scrimmages, because I want to see who can play under pressure, who can be consistent and stuff. But with the understanding that they need to know that once district comes around, the subbing in and out and in and out, it just stops momentum. And so I just kind of want them to just understand that, and I think they do. But for the most part, they're basically ready.
Yes.
You know, but at the same time, there was a couple of things that the officials did tell me at the scrimmages. You're overlapping. Your girl's leaving before she should, before the service. It's little things. And it's little things that I catch in practice because we're moving so fast right now, because we had so little time. I'm not stressing them, but I will be, because tomorrow we will be penalized.
Okay.
It's either a point or a side out. Your illegal alignment, it's point or side. It's like offsides. You're offsides, what happens?
Yep, it's a penalty. 5 3 yards.
So I definitely have to be a little bit stricter with them on that.
For sure. And I know there's going to be no shortage of firepower when it comes to our hitters.
No.
Gali, Sienna, Sky, Regina Martinez. And I said it last week on the Luke Faria show that I think Sky, I think, came on strong last year toward the second half and into the postseason. You know, Sienna, Gali's Gali. I mean, you know what you're going to get in those girls.
Yeah.
You know, but a girl like Regina, where we just saw more flashes last year.
Her and Melly both.
And Melly, yes. You know, even in basketball, Regina finished so strong in basketball in the postseason. I think this could be her true breakout year for people that may kind of know the name in the volleyball world, but now this year, I think, you know, certainly I think she's ready to take that next step. And seeing watching the front row and them going at it in practice is a lot of fun because, you know, you got Sienna and then you got Regina on one side.
Yeah.
I mean, it's loud.
Yeah, I intentionally do that. I put them, you know, against each other, but mainly because that's probably the position they're going to be playing for the most part. And so I like to pit them against each other because they're both super competitive. And so they're going to make each other work hard.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But yes, definitely, you know, that's definitely power right there. Size-wise, size. I kind of tweaked it a little bit. One day, one scrimmage, I looked at it on paper. I looked on the court and I went, because I had like Regina, Sienna, and I think Melly all up there together, and I went, okay, that works, but let's flip it here and there, you know. So I've kind of worked it where I think I distributed a little bit more evenly. So all the way around every rotation, there's going to be
some height.
Yeah, some height and some power. But yeah, definitely, you know, that we do have a lot of hitters. We do have a lot of hitters. What we're really going to have to work on this year, and we've talked about it, I've talked about it a little bit with the coaches, is the blocking. Because you know who we meet up with, and we've got to put up a block. And I think with the girls that we have, you know, those that you mentioned, you know, I think we'll be doing a better job of blocking than we have before. You know, we've had little girls in the front row that aren't quite. It's real tough. Like as a coach, if I see a block with, you know, this one here and this one here, I'm gonna say hit line, because you're gonna probably score more hitting off this girl over here than you are over here. So it makes it a little bit difficult. And I know we've done it for years because Carmina was an outside and she, you know, but Carmina could block also. You know, she had a few blocks in her career here. So, and it was just timing with her and you know, great jumping ability. But yeah, definitely we've got some firepower and we've got height, and it's going to be really exciting, I think.
Right, for sure.
I mean, I got excited in practices, you know, but I want them to stay hungry. Yeah. I don't want them to become complacent. Right. Like, you know, oh, we're good enough already. Well, you're never good enough because there's always going to be somebody better than you.
Right.
And when we went to the La Jolla's Valley View scrimmage, those teams that we played were pretty competitive, and especially Valley View.
They ended up winning the district that last year.
Last year, yeah.
We saw that last year with them.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this team she has this year too is pretty competitive. They were not a pushover at all, and smart, you know. So, and then of course the second scrimmage, the teams were not as. So I saw them kind of be up here the first scrimmage in Valley View, and not quite there in the second one. And that was my first comment to them, was like, you can't play to the level of your opponent. Right. You have to play to your level. Right. Because that's what gets you in trouble. Right. And you know, you don't win matches or sets that you should be. So I think if we can just keep the intensity up and just keep, you know, as they say, keep grinding and keep pushing forward, I think, you know, we'll be a contender.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Olivia Wood back her senior year.
Oh, Olivia looked great.
Defensively, you said she
defensively,
good.
But she did great in the front row also. She did. She was going all around at Valley View, and she did great. You know, I was switching a lot because I wanted to see what, you know, who's ready and who's still not quite there.
Right.
It's a big decision that I have to make on who I'm putting on the court and who I have to sub in and out and stuff like that. So I want to see as much as I can. I tell them sometimes, I know what, Sienna, I know what you can do. Regina, I know what you can do. So and so, I know what you can do. I need to see what she can do, or what she can do, or what she can do. And I need to see it in a competitive matter, not in practice. Because in practice, it's different.
For sure. Yeah,
So-
Ivania Sosa, another hitter that's
Yeah,
coming back.
yeah.
She's had a great career here when it comes to the hitting. Sofia Alvarado and Danica Guerra, all the seniors this year. And of course, the glaring question that people are going to want to know is, and wonder, how's the libero position shaping up? I know that's
That's a big question.
the elephant
right?
in the room.
Yeah, that's the big question right now. I've had so in practices in 2 days this past week, I had Clara Frady, I had Sofia, and then I pulled Isa, Silvia Isabella Trevino, who was on JV last year, and she came in looking pretty good. She did a lot of stuff in Mexico and stuff. She trained over there and stuff over the summer, and so I've been kind of pushing her into that rotation of those three players. So right now there is a question mark.
For sure. It's early still.
It's early. It's early still, and my decision is going to be wholly based on who completes the team the best. So Sofia Alvarado, I know she's a senior. She's gutsy. She's not afraid to go for the ball and stuff, and I like that. But so is Clara. And Isa is still kind of a little bit timid, I think, just because this is her first time being with the varsity group and stuff. But like a set libero right now, not sure. Not sure. I haven't thrown her in there in that position yet, but the new freshman coming in is a great defensive player also.
Okay.
So if things happen how I think they might happen, she could end up in that position also. I'll probably try her, not tomorrow, but maybe in tournament and stuff, and see how that works. And then it would be Sienna and Mariana setting. But, I've seen, I don't know if you saw any of the scrimmage and how Maya is connecting. They're connecting well, some of the hitters with her. And so she really is she's a Carmina, basically. Even hitting wise, she can hit the ball. But I'll have to pick one or the other.
Right.
So it's just that's just something that I'm trying to work through my head.
Right.
In which scenario is where and where exactly is going to be the best position for her to be on the court to be able to help, because I think she's going to be a big factor in that on the court with the girls.
Absolutely. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to break down the schedule and some games that stand out here in the coming weeks. The Lady Bloodhounds will officially kick off the regular season tomorrow in Roma. And we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to break that down. This is Coffee with Coach O.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
excellence has always been Cadillac, so be iconic and drive one. Free your Cadillac, Brownsville, Texas.
If you or someone you know is planning to retire within 6 to 12 months, please call Joe D. Garcia. Federal, city, county, state employees, and small business owners, we have you covered. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call Joe D. Garcia from Blanket Retirement Services, 956-276-4943.
I'm Joe D. Garcia,
And I'm Rolando Trevino.
and we are Blanket Retirement Services. We have you covered.
Welcome back to Coffee with Coach O. I'm Kevin. That's Coach O here on a Monday morning. First day of school. We've been breaking down the Lady Bloodhounds and just kind of what to expect coming up this year. Again, tomorrow is match day, and that's the first official game of the regular season. And you got to hand it to Coach. You got to hand it to the kids. They a week ago today they started their two-a-days camp. And they went through those rigorous two-a-days. And if you know the Dome and you know this time of year, it is no easy chore for those kids to step into that Dome and put in all that work. So they got through the two-a-days just like the football boys.
Yeah.
their two-a-days is over as well. And the girls wrapped it up with a scrimmage in Valley View on Friday, and they came back home on Saturday, and they had a tri-scrimmage there here at home. Tomorrow we go to Roma, Coach, and we're just looking at the schedule. Obviously, with the district play, we know the Sacs matchup is always going to be fun, and that's how we start district play. In fact, with a road matchup, September 13th, which is a little over a month away. We're August 11th, so but we'll get there when we get there. But just highlighting the games, the Laredo game is going to be fun. It's always fun when we go to Laredo. We've had a lot of fun adventures out there. And, of course, the Victoria St. Joe game. Now, we host them first time around. That is October 4th, and then we wrap up the season in Victoria on October 28th, and that's on a Tuesday. So all of that in between, you look at the road trips, you look at the homestands, but those are kind of the three big games that we like to circle on our schedule. But again, starting with Roma tomorrow, first regular season match, and then later in this week, we'll head to the Donna tournament, and then we host Jubilee next week in our home opener here at the Dome. But the games that I just want to highlight, Coach, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, is obviously the big three in 32-6A, and that's Brownsville Veterans, Harlingen, which we're familiar with those two. But, of course, the third one and the new one is Los Fresnos. So just talk about that mentality, Coach. And I talked about it last week on the Luke Faria show, is I gave those three coaches props on saying, hey, yeah, we'll play you, because there's always that kind of a lull where coaches, I don't know if I want to play St. Joe or not. But nonetheless, we got the three big schools in 32-6A, and what does that mean for you guys?
Well, I know that when I was trying to schedule matches, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So this summer, I was moving from one house to another. My husband was at work all day, so I was doing basically all the moving. So Coach O has only moved once, and that was in 2007. So here we are in 2025, and I'm 17 years or however many years later, I'm moving again. I did not label boxes. I threw shoes, dishes, towels, just in containers and put them away. So needless to say, I had a calendar that I was writing schedules in. And so I couldn't find it anywhere. So a couple of these matches were double booked matches. Los Fresnos and Hannah were double booked. Somebody else, and I don't remember who all exactly. Anyway, So when I contacted Harlingen, of course we played them last year over there,
Right.
and I thought when we played at Harlingen, that first set was unbelievable.
Yeah. What
Unbelievable.
Was it? 32, 30?
34. No,
Or
it was
more, right?
like 32, 34, something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. Which I've only ever been in a match where it went, but it was 15 at the time. It went to 20. It went to 30 and 28 or something like that. And that's when it was 15 points.
Yeah, well, Debbie Esparza was the R1 that evening, and she had said she had never seen that before.
At Harlingen?
Harlingen.
Yeah. It was crazy. I had not played a match a set like that. When it was rally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. In equal, guys, it's like 7 overtimes in football.
Yeah.
Think of that.
Basically.
18 innings in baseball.
Basically.
Insane.
Basically, yeah. But it was exciting. You know, it was exciting because I got to see flashes of what we could be.
Oh yeah.
So the Harlingen match was kind of like, yeah, we'll flip flop. We'll play you over there since you came over here. So that one was, the Los Fresnos match, the Brownsville Vets match. Of course, they came to us last year, and so we just kind of talked about, well, do you want to keep it?
Yeah.
And they wanted to keep it. So now we go to them, and of course it's their home court and stuff. Los Fresnos, just a little history on Los Fresnos coach. Anissa played at Hannah when I was still there, my last year there.
Okay.
So I knew Anissa as a freshman player.
Wow. Okay.
And then, of course, I knew her older sister and stuff that played at Pace. But so I don't know if she contacted me or I contacted her. And we kind of talked about it. And then, I went back and forth because I couldn't remember when all the matches were since I didn't have my calendar. And then I finally said, yes, okay, we'll play. And of course, it was like, I guess she must have contacted me. That's why we ended up at her home.
Yes.
Because normally that's the way it works.
I want to say she did because I ran into her at the media day there in Los Fresnos. And I covered her when she was at South. And, of course, that's Sammy's sister-in-law. So they're the Lucio coaching tree. But I said, hey, I was like, we're excited to come here. And she goes, I was looking for a game. And she goes, I figured I'd reach out to Coach O and get that game going. So she's excited. Our kids were actually there taking the photos when we were talking about it, and she was impressed with the kids that we had and the size and stuff like that. So that game is going to be September 9th in Los Fresnos. So I mean that's going to be a lot of fun, and what a better way to get a true measuring stick of our team, because we're at Los Fresnos that Tuesday. And then Saturday we go to Saks.
Yeah.
So but you look at the schedule. Really, you got Harlingen September 2nd. Then you got Hidalgo, who they're a perennial. They're good in 4A. They're always a good program. Back-to-back home games with Harlingen, Hidalgo. We go down the road to Los Fresnos. And then we go to Saks, and then we go to Vets, and then we go to Laredo. That's a tough stretch of 4 games mixed in with some non-district, mixed in with some district games there. So, I mean, buckle up. I mean, and then even you look at it after the Laredo game on the road.
Then we have a bunch of home games.
We have a good homestand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the next 6 at home, because St. Mary's is cut in between. It's a road game. We open up at home, our home district opener against St. Anthony's, road game, and then we have 5 in a row at home. So we have a nice, good home stand. Of course, the back end's going to be a little tough, where it's, the last 3 of the last 4 are going to be on the road.
Yeah.
And I mean, realistically, just depending on where you finish, you'll pull what we did last year. We went to Houston Friday, played Saturday.
Yeah.
Slept home Sunday, went back to Houston on Monday, played on Tuesday. So, but I mean, that's, but anyway.
But, the kids have really adjusted to the, get on the bus, 4 hours, and some of them sleep and some of them don't. A lot of them do sleep, You know, and then, you know, have to get up. And you know, when the very first year that we went into this district with San Antonio, and because we had been with Victoria and Laredo and the two Corpus schools, so we really only had 2 travel dates. But when we switched into this district, and I thought about it, and I said, "Oh my God, we have to go to San Antonio 5 times. We have to try." Because one of the coaches came in and she's like, "Oh my God, it's such a long drive," and blah blah blah. And I said, "Coach, you come here one time.
Yeah.
I gotta go up there 5 times." And they were like, "What?"
And then Victoria.
And then Victoria.
And then Laredo.
Yeah. And they were
7.
like, "Oh yeah." And I said, you know, so.
No, don't worry. Every opposing coach, we have that same conversation. I know baseball. The coach, they, man, we gotta drive all the way down here. We gotta go up. You know, it's the same conversation.
Yeah, it's the same conversation. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think, I mean, I think the kids have already been adjusted with the, you know, with the travel and stuff. They've already adjusted, and so they know the drill and everything.
And a lot of them are multi-sport.
Multi-sport.
But they do in volleyball. We're gonna do in basketball.
Mhm.
The district meet is always at Saks.
Mhm.
You know, the regional meets in Seguin, so they're used to it by now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I honestly, that Los Fresnos match, I was kind of approached. I had my Hannah High School alumni game, this past Friday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm class of 75, 76. And they said, "Well, who was the first year?" And I said, "I started volleyball at Hannah." I said, "There was no volleyball until my junior year." So I played spring my junior year, fall my senior year. And they were like, "But before you?" And I said, "There was no before me." And they were like, "Oh, okay. So you're the oldest one here?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm the oldest one here." So, and we were kind of laughing about it and stuff, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed that Hannah's not on the schedule.
Exactly. Because that was the double book with Los Fresnos. So, yeah, so I said, I know what kind of a district we're in.
Yeah.
I need somebody to push my kids.
For sure.
And I think they're very competitive, but I think by this point, I think we will be pretty evenly matched.
Right, absolutely. So. And that's what I told Coach Lucio. I said when I saw the game come up and I saw it was in Los Fresnos, I was like, even better. Because that gym is what we're going to see at Fort Bend. It's what we're going to see at Cypress Christian, and it's what we're going to see eventually in the playoffs. So those are some games, folks, that we've just highlighted that really stick out in the non-district portion of the schedule. Again, first game is tomorrow at Roma. Second half of the week, we go to Donna for the tournament. And then next week, we'll be at home. That is August 19th. That's the home opener against Brownsville Jubilee. So we're excited for the season. That just about wraps up our first show. Again, Season 3, Episode 1 of Coffee with Coach O. We're live in the Bloodhound Cafe on the first day of school, August 11th, 2025. Time's going by pretty quickly.
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
It is. It
pretty
is.
Quickly.
I mean, even the summer. I mean, I know, we had summer and we were off, but it just seemed like it was here before.
Yeah, graduation was yesterday.
Before I was ready for it to be here, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, and every year I get the same question: "Are you going back?" And I'm like, at this point, yes. And there, but what about? Well, I'm not there yet, so, you know.
Absolutely. So, folks, there's a lot to look forward to this volleyball season with the Lady Bloodhounds. You can catch every game live, both home and away, on the Bloodhound channel. We've kept the YouTube side of it as well. You can check it out on the website, realsportslive.com, on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, but most notably YouTube. I found that's the easiest way for fans just to chime in, and you can just rewatch the games. You can rewatch the show, Coffee with Coach O. But again, mark it in your calendars. We'll put it up on our social media accounts every Monday morning, 10 a.m. in the Bloodhound Cafe for Coffee with Coach O. Match day tomorrow. Times, Coach. We're going triple header.
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, and 6. So it'll be the freshman, the junior varsity, and the varsity will be the headliner with the 6 o'clock matchup against the Roma Lady Gladiators. Speaking of road trips, it's about a 2-hour haul here out west over to Roma. So just pray for safe travels for us and most importantly for the kids. Again, all the games, home and away. I'll be right there with the Lady Bloodhounds. I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I really am. Monday I went out there and I just saw the excitement and the chemistry. And you're right. There was a few times I even looked at you and said, "That looks pretty good."
Yeah.
Coach Sammy went in there a time or two, and he's like, "Hey man, like that, they looked good. Everything just looked flowing. They looked just about in mid-season form." I'm like, "That's all you can ask for in your first few days."
Yeah. What concerns me sometimes is peaking too early.
Yeah.
That's a big concern with me. When that was my first thought on, I think that last day of practice, and I went, how do I kind of, not quite sure how to keep them from, but it'll come.
It'll come. Absolutely. Again, match day tomorrow. Watch it live on the Bloodhound channel. We'll be live out in Roma. We will see you guys next week for Coffee with Coach O. I'm Kevin. That's Coach O. Again, a special thank you to Miss Amanda and everyone here in the Bloodhound Cafe. We'll see you guys next week.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive